Happy second day of Vlogmas! If you didn't know, I am attempting to do Vlogmas this December. We'll see how it goes. The goal is to upload one video every day in this month. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But for today's video for Vlogmas, we are going to be doing a What's Old video, so stay tuned.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body tremors for your neck.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park and I am a part-time reseller on various reselling platforms like Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you everything that sold for me on those different platforms in the week of November 15th through the 21st. It was a decent week. It wasn't like crazy. The week after this is definitely a week for the books. Like it was a good week. But this particular week was still pretty good. It was better than average, but nothing crazy. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, shall we? Starting with Monday, which was November 15th, I had sales on 4 different platforms, which is pretty great. I only had sales on 4 different platforms this week, so this is a good representation of those 4 platforms. The first thing to sell was over on Poshmark, and it was this Forever 21 men black ribbed striped trim snap button-up jacket in a size large. This sold for $20. I had $2.99 into it because it came to me in a bulk 100-pound men's thread-up rescue box, and that was my average cost of goods for everything that came in those boxes. And so once you factor in my cost of goods and my fees on Poshmark, my profit came out to $13.01. I typically do not source Forever 21 when I am out at the thrift stores and whatnot, but if it comes to me in a thread-up box, I will go ahead and list it. This is probably the second time I've gotten a Forever 21 men's jacket in a thread-up rescue box. Both have sold actually pretty quickly. The first one was like completely sequined and that one did pretty well. This one also, $20, not bad. The next thing to sell was this Uniqlo beige belted trench coat in a size extra small. So another jacket, but this one was for women. This one sold for $34 and I did offer a shipping discount using PosherVA. It was just an automatic offer that went out of, I want to say 10% off this day, and it had a shipping discount, like I said. I had about $10 into that because it was something that I worked out in a consignment deal with a friend from church. So, obviously $10 is probably more than I would pay for this if I were at the thrift store, but we were kind of going off of what I thought would be about half of what I would earn on this. And so my profit, once you factor in my cost of goods and Poshmark fees, was $14.74. That did sit around for maybe a couple months, but eventually it sold and I didn't have to sit on it for too long, so not too bad. The next thing to sell was this cabby gray deep V side zip pullover sweater in a size medium. This sold for $34. Cabby is like a pretty decent brand. It's a good bread and butter brand for me, but I have kind of slowed down on picking it up because while it will sell, and it will sell for a decent amount, it tends to sit for me, and I'm trying to move things out quicker than I have in the past. I did only have about 80 cents into this because I picked it up during a big bulk buy that I did with a local consignment store, and they let me get like a ton of stuff at really low cost, which is why for clothing, my average cost of goods was about 80 cents per item. And so my profit on that was $23.94, which is pretty good. The next thing to sell was this World Market faux fur bauble Christmas stocking. This sold for $20, which was my full asking price, and I only had about $1 into it because I got it at the bins a long time ago. I think I got it in Indianapolis, but it could have been from St. Louis, actually. World Market is not like a super high-end store by any means, but they have really nice like home accessories, furniture, things of that nature. And this I have had just in my house, like in my death pile forever and ever, but I saw it randomly and I was like, I need to just go ahead and get that listed, especially given the season. So that probably sold within like a month after living in my house for like a year or 2. So I did make a profit of $15 on that. If you have any Christmas stuff, any Hanukkah stuff, anything related to the winter holidays, what are you waiting for? Get that stuff listed. Over on eBay, I sold this pair of Doncaster ivory high-waisted dress pants in a size 6. They were kind of like ankle length. Those sold for $24.90. That was an offer that I sent out to watchers. The buyer paid for shipping. Again, it came from that big bulk buy from that local consignment store. So I had about 80 cents into them, and my profit on those pants was $21.59. Doncaster is a really expensive brand. It retails for a ton. it does not resell for very much, and it tends to sit and sit and sit. So while I did pick it up a lot in the past, I'm definitely passing on it a lot more these days unless it's made out of like silk or wool. And even then, I'm a little bit weary of picking it up just because of how long it sits. But I did eventually make a profit on that of $21.59. The next thing to sell was this pair of Bonobos 7-inch inseam white chino shorts in a size 46 for men. These took a pretty long time to sell, and I'm kind of surprised that they sold now. I mean, I had them listed throughout the summer, and they chose to sell like as we're heading into winter. They sold for $16 on eBay. They were promoted at 3%. I had the buyer pay for shipping, and I had $2.99 into them because they came to me in that men's 100-pound bulk thredUP rescue box. So I only made a profit of $8.37 on those, but that's $8.37 that I didn't have before, so I will take it. The next thing to sell was over on Mercari. The sale was these Nike Odyssey React Fly Knit 2 running shoes in a size 8 for women. These sold for $38. My average cost of goods for that particular garage sale that I went to was $3.75. And so my profit on those Nikes was $29.05. Y'all, I'm so bad at Nike shoes. Like I don't know which ones are like the good ones, which ones are the ones worth picking up. And I feel like there is so much Nike out there. You can easily check when you check the style number under the tongue of the shoe. It just takes so gosh darn long. So I don't know. This is definitely one of my better Nike shoe sales, but there are some out there that will sell for like $100, $200. I just don't really know what they are. But, I'm happy with that sale. They sat for a little bit longer than I would have liked, probably like around 3 months, but, it finally sold. The next thing to sell was over on Facebook Marketplace. This was a jacket from the North Face. It was the Vortex Tri-Climate Jacket, and it was just the shell. So this jacket actually came with kind of like a fleece lining that zipped into the jacket. So, the shell is like windproof and kind of water resistant and whatnot, but then you have like that fleece layer underneath to really keep you warm. I didn't have that layer. This actually came to me again in a men's thredUP rescue box. This was not part of that 100-pound bulk box, but it was in a rescue box that I ordered months and months ago. So I've had this listed for quite some time, and I think I had it listed pretty high at around like $75 or something like that. So when I got the $40 offer on Facebook Marketplace, I was kind of like, meh, but I went ahead and accepted it because, it's been there for a while and I just needed to move it out. So I accepted the $40 offer. I had $3 into it. I still made a profit of $34.22 on that. Again, the North Face is another one of those things that you find a lot at thrift stores, but a lot of it just isn't worth very much, especially like their super basic fleeces. Even their Denali fleeces, like while you can maybe still pull like maybe $25, $35 for them, a lot of times thrift stores are pricing them up really high just because it's the North Face. So you just got to be really picky about what pieces you're picking up. Again, I didn't pick that up, but it still did pretty good for me. So that was a great day, like I said, with sales on 4 different platforms. And if you've been watching my channel, you know that the reason why I sell on multiple platforms is because of a Chrome extension, a software called List Perfectly. Y'all, I swear by this Chrome extension because it helps me get listings on 6 different platforms extremely quickly. And one thing I'll say is as we're heading into the new year, and as I know a lot of us, myself included, are making goals for the year 2022, if you are only selling on one platform, something that you may want to consider as a reselling goal for yourself is to expand to another platform. I do have a lot of videos on my channel about platforms like eBay and Poshmark and Mercari, where I share with you tips on how to get started and how to find success on those different platforms. And I know that they're all really scary to get on, but you just got to start. You just got to list your first few items, get your feet wet, and just see what happens. And List Perfectly makes cross-listing over to those platforms so much easier than having to start from scratch. So if there's one gift you can give yourself this holiday season, let it be List Perfectly, because it's going to be what helps you grow your reselling business. And if you're new to List Perfectly, you can use my coupon code, which is Becky Park, and that'll help you save 30% off of your first month. So I will have that link down in the description below. something to consider. The next day that we'll talk about is November 16th, which was a Tuesday. And the first thing to sell on Poshmark was this new with tags Lululemon pink long distance shirt in a size 10. That sold for $40. I had picked it up over the summer at a garage sale. I believe I actually had about $10 into that, but my average cost of goods for this garage sale was $5.65. And so my profit on that item was $26.35. Not bad. The next thing to sell was this Carter's lot of 2 casual joggers in the size 9 to 12 months. These sold for $12, and so my profit was $9.05. Those are things that my son wore. Now they're moving on to new homes. You gotta love it. The next thing to sell was this pair of Stuart Weitzman black suede pumps in a size 6. I have had these for a good amount of time, but they sold for $31. I had about $6 into them, and so my profit on those was $18.80. Stuart Weitzman is one of those brands where like either it's gonna sell for nothing or it's going to sell for a ton. Like there are some Stuart Weitzman pieces that are so desirable. Like everyone knows what they are. Everyone loves them, especially their over the knee boots. If you find those are like, I mean, yes, I honestly am always looking for those boots. I'm always looking for someone to like not know what they have and price them at like $50 on Poshmark. Never happens. It's always priced super high. And then you have like normal pumps like these that people just don't care about. So I don't know. Stuart Weitzman is so hit or miss. So I feel pretty lucky to be able to sell these for $31. Over on eBay, I had another Nike sale, but this was a gray gym vintage pullover hoodie sweatshirt in a size small. And when I say vintage, I don't mean like it's actually vintage. I think it had like the word vintage on, the tag. Maybe it was like a vintage fit or something like that. But this sold for $18 with the buyer paying for shipping. I picked this up at the Indianapolis Goodwill bin, so I only had $1.66 into it. That was my average cost of goods for that particular trip. And so my profit was $14.39. I do remember kind of being like, I don't know if I want to get this, but with it being so lightweight and Nike is always such a hot seller. So I'm really happy that I did pick it up and that it did sell so quickly, probably within like a week or two of it being listed. The next thing to sell was this Patagonia red chinchilla fleece full zip up vest with pockets for men in a size extra large. This sold for $30. I had it priced at like $50, but when I got the $30 offer, I went ahead and accepted. The buyer paid for shipping. I did have $17.08 into this because I got it on Poshmark to resell. Someone was running a really great sale. I don't remember exactly what the sale was. I got 3 pieces. One was for me. The other 2 were to resell. And I don't remember what the other piece was, but I think that one sold already. And that was the one that I was like, ooh, this is worth a lot. And I think I did make a good amount of money on it. This one, I knew it was going to be kind of whatever. So I still did make a profit of $9.82 on it when all was said and done, even after you subtract that really high cost of goods. Patagonia is just generally a really good brand. This one, though, like the Patagonia logo was so small. It was the kind that was just like embroidered on. So it was kind of hard to see. Really basic piece, and Patagonia basic pieces, this is about what you're going to get for them. The next thing to sell was over on Mercari, and it was another pretty basic piece. It was just this Madewell texture and thread pink flutter sleeve top in a size small. Although this was so basic and although Madewell tops generally don't do that well for me, this actually got a ton of interest right when I listed it. Like a lot of likes, a lot of watchers, just a lot of activity. And I was kind of surprised. And, on Mercari, I use this thing called smart pricing, which means when you go to list an item, you can select a floor price for the item. So I probably listed this at $25, but said that I'd be comfortable dropping the price all the way down to about $15. Again, it's a very basic Madewell top. And so what Mercari will do then is slowly drop the price of your item until it hits your floor price. So that way it kind of gets more and more interest every day as that price drops, because every time the price drops, your item kind of gets boosted up in the algorithm, and people who have liked the item in the past will get a notice that you dropped the price, and people who haven't seen it before might see it because, it's kind of showing up again in the algorithm since you dropped the price. And so it sold outright at $19 once it hit that price. I had $1.50 into that because I bought it from a friend. I bought out all of her inventory because she's going to be moving very, very soon, actually like next week, I think, which is so sad. So I made a profit on that very simple Madewell top of $15.75. On Wednesday, which was November 17th, I only had 2 sales and they were both on eBay. The first thing to sell was this St. John Sport white ribbed crop wool blend sleeveless top in a size petite. This I have had for so long. I got it maybe like 2 years ago. I still remember finding it at a Goodwill in the Chicago suburbs near where my in-laws live, and I was pretty excited to find it. I got it home and it had this weird like pinkish tinge to it. Like I feel like maybe someone washed it with like a red or a pink shirt or something like that. So you could kind of tell like it was a little discolored. I listed it for a while, myself. It didn't sell. I sent it in to ThredUp. They did accept it, but they weren't able to sell it either. So they sent it back to me. And then I sold it once on eBay. It didn't fit the buyer, so she sent it back. I don't know. I'm so sick of this thing, but it finally sold again for $15 with the buyer paying for shipping. I think I had about $4 into it, so I made a profit of $8.57. This is a really great example of why you don't just buy things because of the brand. Yes, St. John is an amazing brand. This is not an amazing top though. Like this is all kinds of messed up. I don't even know if it's supposed to be cropped. I don't think they're out there like making crop tops because that's not the kind of brand that St. John is. I don't know if it's supposed to be like white with a twinge of pink. Like there were just all sorts of things wrong with this, but I was like, I must buy this because it's St. John. That's why I've had it for 2 years and only made a profit of $8.57. So learn your lesson from me. Don't pick things up just because the brand is great. That does not guarantee that it will sell. The next thing to sell, however, was a lot better of a sale. It was this new with tags Lululemon Swiftly Tech Short Sleeve Gray Crew Neck Shirt in a size 10. I got this at that same garage sale as the pink Lululemon shirt, and I've had these listed now for well over a month. So it's kind of funny that they sold back to back this week when, they've been listed for a while. This one sold for $49.90, which was better than the other Lululemon top. That was an offer that I had sent out to watchers. It was promoted at 3%. The buyer paid for shipping. Again, my average cost of goods for that garage sale was $5.65. So my profit on that Lululemon top was $35.76. Moving on to Thursday, which was November 18th. I had a $0 sales day. It's kind of been a minute since that's happened, but it does happen. And I feel like I'm going to have a good number of $0 sales days in the current week that we're in because man, is it slow. After the hype of Black Friday and whatnot, sales have dropped considerably. Let me know in the comments if you're experiencing that as well. It'll make me feel better in a really sad way if you're experiencing that too. I mean, I hope you're not, but if you are, you're in good company. So moving on to Friday, which was November 19th, I had a much better sales day. I think I was running some sales on eBay and I don't know, there was a lot going on. So it was a good day. The first thing to sell on Poshmark was this Banana Republic Factory cream leather purse. This sold for $29 with discounted shipping. This was a PosherVA sale. And what I mean by that is that I have a Chrome extension called PosherVA. It does share my closet for me. It does like up to 9,000 shares in a day or something like that. And it will send out offers to likers for me. And you can set it up however you want. You can set it up to send out offers to likers, 2 minutes after someone likes an item or 30 minutes after someone likes an item. I have it set up to send out anywhere between like 10 to 15% off offers, depending on how I feel. With discounted shipping, sometimes I'll do the $1.50 shipping, sometimes I'll do the $2.49, and I have it set up so that it'll send out offers after 4 minutes. This was a great day for PosherVA. Like PosherVA made me a ton of sales this day, so I was really thankful. If you want to try out PosherVA, I do have an affiliate link for that down in the description as well, and if you use my coupon code, which again is Becky Park, you can actually save 20% off of your first payment, whether you do a monthly payment or pay for 6 months at a time and save a little bit. You can save 20%, so that's pretty cool. So I made a profit of $20.74 on that purse because my sister-in-law gave me that purse for free. I think it was actually something that my brother gifted her, which I think is so funny because my brother hates going to the mall. Like, I think now, you know, when it's like anniversaries or her birthday or something, he's like, just get yourself something because he's just not good at getting gifts. She was like, I don't know why he got me this. So I listed it and made some money. The next thing to sell was this Chicago Bears winter scarf with the fringe trim. This sold for $12, again, with discounted shipping. Thank you, PosherVA. And so I made a profit of $6.59. Someone from church gave that to me for free. You know, I'm in the state of Illinois, so you'll see me selling a lot of like Chicago Bears stuff, Chicago Cubs, and especially Chicago Bulls attire. The next thing to sell was this pair of Gap 1969 legging jeans in a mid-rise. They were, you know, basically skinny jeans in a size 28 long. These sold for $21. That was the offer that came into me. I had $1.50 into these because, again, they were part of that inventory buyout from my friend. So I made a profit of $12.84, and they sold pretty quickly. I do not pick up Gap denim, but I've sold a couple pairs recently that are kind of making me rethink, you know, leaving it behind. I think if I find it at like the bins or places like that, I'll definitely consider picking them up. I think what also helped sell these is that they were a 28 long. That's a specialty size. And you know, that longer length is something that a lot of people have a harder time finding. So if they need, you know, that longer length, or if they need it to be like 28 tall or something like that, if you have stuff like that, it's definitely to your advantage. The next thing to sell was this Orvis Simoom. I think that's the style name, tweed quarter zip navy leather trim sweatshirt in a size extra large. This sold for $34 with discounted shipping. Again, PosherVA sale. And I had $2.99 into that because that came from my ThreadUp men's 100-pound bulk rescue box. So my profit on that was $21.75. Orvis is a great brand. Orvis is, you know, like an outdoor brand, kind of like a much less popular Patagonia, if you will. It does okay. This, I think, was a really great piece by them because, you know, it was pretty substantial. It had like a leather trim. It had elbow patches. It had a lot going for it. I've tried selling some of their more basic pieces, and they've been much harder to sell. I did actually have really great luck with some of their button-ups once. I had like 2 button-up shirts, and they both sold in a bundle for like my full asking price, if I remember correctly. Orvis, if you're going to pick it up, just know that you might sit on it for some time. The next thing to sell was this pair of Beta brand black yoga dress pants in a size large. These sold probably within a couple days for $25. That was the offer sent to me. I had $5.99 into those. I picked them up very recently at a local Goodwill, and so my profit on those was $14.01. I would have priced them higher and probably gotten more for them had it not been for the fact that there was a little bit of fraying on the hem of one of the pant legs on these. So I did price them a little bit lower, but I'm really happy with how quickly they flipped and the profit that I made on them. Beta brand is a great brand to be on the lookout for, and it's a brand that for whatever reason I have been finding more of lately, which I'm not going to complain about. The next thing to sell was this pair of American Eagle dark wash cuffed skinny jeans for men in a size 33. These sold for $25. I think that actually, and the Beta brand pants, I think those were because of closet clear out, if I remember correctly. What happened was when I woke up that day, PosherVA had sent out all these offers, and I woke up to a ton of sales, but I turned off, you know, PosherVA's ability to send offers because I wanted to send people my closet clear out message. If you don't know how I utilize closet clear out, I will put that link for that video right here. But there's something that I do every Friday and Sunday when it is closet clear out. And, you know, sometimes I make some really good sales. And I believe that the American Eagle jeans and the Beta brand pants, and I think that's it. I think that those were actually because of closet clear out. So I sent this person my closet clear out message. I actually had these priced at $35, but asked, you know, the liker if they would be interested in purchasing these. If I dropped the price to $25 and they got discounted shipping, they said yes, and that's why I sold them for $25. I had about $5 into them, so I made a profit of $15. I picked those up at a local thrift store a while ago, and to be honest with you, I have gotten offers on them probably around that $25 mark in the past, but I just thought that I'd be able to pull at least $30 from them. So I kept holding out, but $25 was about all that they were worth. They were just really cute. They had a lot of like little extra details on them that I don't see on most American Eagle jeans. However, I just needed to move them. So I accepted the offer and made my $15 and moved on with my life. The next thing to sell was this pair of J. Crew Mercantile skinny jeans in a size 26. These my sister-in-law actually found when we all went thrifting together at a local thrift store. And so they sold for $20. I had $2.24 into them. So my profit on those jeans was $13.76. Moving on to my eBay sales. The first thing to sell was this pair of Tommy Bahama Relax Brown Tencel Lyocell Blend cargo shorts in a size 44. Those I picked up at a local consignment store when they were doing like a 75% off sale, or maybe even that particular day, everything of a certain color was like $3. They were trying really hard to get rid of their spring and summer inventory, and so I picked those up for $3. They were promoted and they sold for $23.90. That was the offer that I sent out to buyers. The buyer paid for shipping, and so my profit on those was $13.63. They sold really quickly though, and they sold in November, even though they are shorts. So if all you have left at home to list are shorts, go ahead and list them. People are going on cruises. People live in states with, warm weather all year round. Shorts are still selling, surprisingly. The next thing to sell was another pair of brown shorts. It was this pair of Ralph Lauren brown high-waisted cuffed dress shorts in a size 10. These sold for $21.24. I did have a 15% off sale going on at this time. And after the buyer paid for shipping and my 80 cents cost of goods because they came in that big bulk buy that I did at a local consignment store, I made a profit of $16.77. Y'all know, if you've been watching my channel, that my love for Ralph Lauren is steadily growing as I learn just how wonderful of a brand it is when it comes to reselling. The next thing to sell is another great brand to resell. The brand is Ufos? I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, but it was their Uclog clogs in a dark green. They were basically just these like slip-on clog shoes. They were in a men's size 5 or women's size 7. These sold for $33.99. That I believe was the 15% off price. The buyer paid for shipping. I had $4.99 into them. I had picked them up very recently at a local Goodwill. I think they took under a week to sell. And so my profit on those was $25.30. This is a great brand to be on the lookout for. People love it. It's really comfortable. And even though it doesn't retail for a ton, you can get close to retail for it when you resell this brand. The next thing to sell was over on Mercari, and it was this Aritzia Wilfred Free Arizona pink Jerry knit t-shirt in a size large. This sold for $18. There was some I'll call it pre-pilling. You could tell, it had gone through the washer a few times. I made sure to note that in the description. I, again, purchased this from my friend in that inventory buyout. So I had $1.50 into this top, and my profit on it was $13.88. The next thing to sell was by the brand Goodfellow & Co. This is a Target brand. It's a men's Target brand, not a brand that I pick up when I'm at the thrift store, but this came to me in that ThredUp men's, 100-pound rescue box. It was a multicolored striped sweater jacket shacket. I made sure to put the word shacket in there because that is a really hot keyword right now, a really hot style, and it was in a size large. This sold for $18 over on Mercari. I feel like I could have maybe gotten more for it, but it's a big, bulky piece, and I was just happy to move it out. So after my Mercari fees and my cost of goods, I still made a profit of $12.39 on that Target piece. I'll take it. The next thing to sell was another Lululemon piece. This was the Black Spring breakaway short in a size 2. They were pleated in the front and had, a cuffed hem, and they were in a size 6. These I picked up when I went to Seattle to visit my parents over the summer. I went to the bougiest Goodwill that I've ever been to in a city called Redmond. It's a really, really rich city that I think Bill Gates lives there, if I'm not mistaken. But I found these just on the end of a rack as I was going to check out. The prices here were much higher. So my average cost of goods at this Goodwill was $15.27 per item. These shorts sold for $42, and I still made a profit even after that really high cost of goods. My profit was still $21.01. My goal is to try to hit that $20 net profit on each item, and I definitely succeeded with these shorts. The next thing to sell was this J. Crew Factory wool suit. It was in the Thompson style, and they were in a size 38R. They did have a stain on the leg. It was a pretty faint stain, but it was there, you could see it. And this stain really got in the way of making sales, in that I had a lot of people reach out to me about this suit, but everyone was like, can you take a better picture of the stain? Can you tell me more about this stain? And I was like, the picture that I took is the best picture that I can take. It's really faint. I don't know how to take a clearer picture of this stain. Like, it's hard to see. You're lucky I'm telling you there's a stain at all. Finally, someone took the plunge. It was a woman who was buying it for her son's cotillion, I believe. It sold for $49. It is something that I purchased from a friend when we worked out a consignment deal. So I did have about $20 into that, and I still made a profit of $22.38. And then on Facebook Marketplace, I sold this pair of Matterhorn Sport Gore-Tex Vibram Sole Safety Footwear Work Boots. These I got at the Goodwill outlet in Indianapolis. They sold for $60 and my cost of goods was $1.66. I knew that these were going to sell on Facebook Marketplace. Anytime I list some sort of like work boots, safety boots, anything with like a steel toe, Gore-Tex, all that good stuff, it always sells on Facebook Marketplace, even if the boots are really beat up, and they sell for a good price. So after my very low cost of goods and my very low fees over on Facebook Marketplace, I made a profit on those boots of $54.66. I don't know the brand Matterhorn, but I picked these up because of the Gore-Tex and because of the Vibram sole. If it is made by Walmart, if it says Walmart on the tag, but it says Gore-Tex and Vibram sole, I'm going to pick that sucker up and it's going to sell for a good amount of money. So that was another day where I had sales on 4 different platforms. Thank you, Liz Perfectly. The next day that we'll talk about is Saturday, which was November 20th. This was a day of solely Poshmark sales. So the first thing to sell was this Banana Republic non-iron classic fit button-up shirt in a size large. I had about 80 cents into this from that local bulk buy that I did at that consignment store. The next thing to sell was this pair of Talbot's pink elastic weight pull-on shorts in a size medium. My average cost of goods from this particular consignment store haul was $4.92. That was another day that I went when they were trying to clear out their spring and summer inventory. Oh, and I'm talking about a bundle here. So this is a 3-piece bundle, and the third item in this bundle was another Banana Republic piece. It was this non-iron tailored slim fit button-up shirt in a size large. This I also had about 80 cents into because it came from that same consignment store bulk buy. Someone sent me an offer of $45 for these 3 items. I happily accepted because these button-up shirts, I'm trying so hard to get rid of them. So I was ecstatic when I got this offer. I had about $6.52 into that whole bundle. So my profit on those 3 items was $29.48. The next thing to sell was this vintage Abercrombie & Fitch ribbed sweater in a size medium. This my sister-in-law gave to me. Her brother actually gave her like a ton of stuff to resell. And she was like, I'm never going to list this stuff. Like, no, thank you. So she gave it to me and I sold it for $30. So my profit on that was $24. The next thing to sell was this pair of Keen Sterling City flat brown nubuck leather flats in a size 10. These sold for $36 with discounted shipping. So this was a PosherVA sale. I picked them up pretty recently for $4.99 at a local thrift store. And my profit on those was $21.35. However, I accidentally swapped the labels of this and the next Poshmark sale that I'm going to tell you about. The good thing, however, with Poshmark is that if you accidentally swap the labels, Poshmark will reach out to the buyers who got the wrong stuff. Poshmark will send them new labels, and all the buyers have to do is, ship the items to one another. If you swap labels between more than 2 items, though, like I did not too long ago, I accidentally had like a 3-way swap. Poshmark will not do it for you. And I think it's because they know that the more people are involved, the higher the risk is that someone isn't going to do their part and send the item to the correct person. And so this, I got kind of lucky in that it was only a 2-part swap. I feel like I'm usually so careful about this kind of stuff, but I did have a mix up here. I did maybe a couple months ago have a mix up with that like 3-person swap, but really like it hasn't happened very much outside of those 2 times, but even 2 times is probably 2 times too many. But anyway, moving on to Sunday, which was November 21st, the first sale that we'll talk about is the item that I swapped the label with the Keens for. It was this Karen Scott red cable knit sweater in a size medium. Karen Scott is not a brand that I pick up because it is, I think, sold at like Macy's or something like that. But I got it in a wholesale box from Via Trading. And so I just went ahead and listed it. This was another one of those items that I had sent in to ThreadUp. They accepted it, but they couldn't sell it, so they sent it back. So I went ahead and listed it for $25. And PosherVA sent out offers on this for $22 and discounted shipping. And I made this sale. I was shooketh to my core. And so I made a profit on that sweater of $12.68. However, she got the Keens instead of that sweater. So they are in the process of sending, the items to the correct buyer. And I have learned my lesson that I just need to be much more careful. The next thing to sell was another bundle. The first item was this pair of Old Navy pink jeggings for toddler girls in a size 5T. Those belong to my daughter. And the next item to sell was this Carter's Buffalo Plaid zip-up hooded vest for a size 9 to 12 months. Those I did pick up at that consignment store when I did the big bulk buy, so I had about 80 cents into that. I think someone put both items in a bundle, and so I sent her an offer of $15 with discounted shipping. I only had 80 cents into both of those items, so I made a profit of $8.74. That's not a huge profit, but I'm happy to move kids' items onto new homes and just kind of imagine like really cute little kids wearing the stuff. I think it's fun. The next thing to sell was over on eBay, and it was this pair of Mephisto Hannel double strap soft air sandals in a size 6. These are one of my oldest listings. I think that I picked these up, I want to say at a Goodwill outlet. I can't remember which one or when, but I have a vague memory of finding these at a Goodwill outlet. But they sold for $20 after being listed for definitely over a year and a half, if not 2 years. The buyer paid for shipping. I'm saying I had $4 into these. I did not. I probably had like $1 and something, but let's pretend I had $4 into these. So my profit on those was $12.30. The next thing to sell was this pair of Lane Bryant camo print ankle zip joggers in a size 28. That's plus size 28. I sent out offers to watchers on those for $24.90. Someone accepted and paid for shipping. I had $7.07 as my cost of goods for those pair of pants. I don't remember where I picked those up, but that was my average cost of goods for whatever that was. I kind of want to say that it was a Plato's Closet situation, but I don't know. But my profit on those joggers was $13.49. I've definitely gotten a lot pickier about what Lane Bryant pieces I will pick up because Lane Bryant tends to sit and sit and sit for me and sometimes just never sell, I feel like. But I thought that they were like definitely a more current style. Camo print always does really well for me, and joggers in general do really well for me too. So I'm glad that I took a risk on those and, did pretty well on them. The very last sale that we'll talk about was over on Mercari. It was this standard James Purse black shirt dress in a size medium. That sold for $47. I had about $5 into it, and so I made a profit of $35.64. James Purse is a brand that retails for a ton. It can resell for a good amount as well, but it doesn't sell quick. So again, if you're okay with sitting on inventory, James Purse is not a bad brand to pick up, but just know it won't be a quick flip. So the next thing that we'll do is talk about my numbers. I'm going to share with you what my gross sales, cost of goods, net profit, all that kind of stuff was for each platform, and then my total numbers. Before we do that, if you have enjoyed this video so far, please consider hitting that like button because it actually boosts this video in the algorithm and helps people find this video and discover my channel. And if you're brand new to my channel, thank you so much for checking me out. I do hope you consider hitting that subscribe button because I'd love to have you as part of my little community here on YouTube. So let's talk about my Poshmark numbers first. I had 20 sales on Poshmark for a gross sales amount of $505. Once you factor in Poshmark's 20% fees, any shipping discounts that I offered, which I did offer a ton because of PosherVA, that total drops to $380.76. My cost of goods for those 20 items was pretty low at $55.94. And so my net profit from Poshmark was $324.82. On eBay, I sold 11 items for $277.83. Once you factor in eBay's fees and maybe any shipping discrepancies where maybe I didn't charge someone enough for shipping and I had to pay for a little bit of it, that total drops to $232.02. My cost of goods was $52.04 for those 11 items. And so my net profit on eBay was $179.78. On Mercari, I had 7 sales for a gross sales amount of $231. Once you factor in Mercari's fees, that total drops to $199.99. $50.11. My cost of goods for those 7 items was $50.01. And so my net profit from Mercari was $149.10. On Facebook Marketplace, I sold 2 items for a gross sales amount of $100. That's a really high ASP over on Facebook Marketplace. Once you factor in Facebook Marketplace's really low fees, that total drops to $93.54. My cost of goods for those 2 items was $4.66, and so my net profit was $88.88 on Facebook Marketplace, which means that my average profit per item on Facebook Marketplace was $44.44, which is pretty good. So in total, I sold 40 items for a gross sales amount of $1,113.83. Once you factor in all of the fees and shipping, however, that total drops to $905.43. My cost of goods for those 40 items came out to $162.65. And so my net profit for the week was $742.78, which I'm really happy with because it's almost $100 more than my weekly goal, which is $650 in net profit. So I'm doing really well. The month of November, I can already tell, is going to be probably my best month of the year. And my hope is that when I run my November numbers, I will have already hit my yearly goal of $30,000 in profit from reselling. And, anything that I earn in December will just be extra. So I'm hoping that that's the case. We'll see if it's true, but definitely stay tuned for that next What Sold video to hear what my November numbers were. So like I said at the very beginning of the video, I am participating in Vlogmas, which means that I'm going to do my very best to upload a video every day in the month of December. I'm just going to be honest with you. I highly doubt that it's going to happen, but it'll be a mixture of a ton of different types of videos. I'll obviously still continue to do my What Sold videos. I'll hopefully have some more thrift hauls and thrift with me type videos, and maybe some more tips and trick type videos as well. So if that sounds interesting to you, like I said, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video, which, like I said, hopefully in the month of December will be every single day. And if you have any suggestions for, different Vlogmas type videos that you'd like to see, definitely drop those suggestions down in the comments below, and I will do my best to try to make those kinds of videos. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!